March is officially over and it was quite a month, if I must say. So, in the spirit of saying goodbye to the month of March and welcome to the month of April, I made a compilation of the best Nollywood movies that were released here on the YouTube space in the month of March. So, if you're a YouTube Nollywood movie lover and you wouldn't mind some recommendations of movies that you should actually check out, I would highly recommend you stay tuned because I made a list of the best movies that were released in the month of March just for you. Hi Good Life family, what's good and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to a new video. It's your girl Mimi Nasike and I made a compilation of the best YouTube Nollywood movies that were released in the month of March. So without any further ado, let's just get right into the video. I would also like to put it out there that this particular list is in no particular order, so don't think that the one that comes as number 10 is the worst among the best or the one that comes as number 1 is the best among the best. The list is very random, but these movies are actually very interesting. If you take my word for it, I highly recommend you go check out each and every single one of these movies that I put here on this list. So number 1 on my list has to be the movie Illusions of Us, currently showing on Uche Nambunabo TV here on YouTube. If you're an OG on this channel and you watch my videos, you most likely have seen my review where I gushed a lot over this movie because this movie was actually very interesting and I actually did enjoy watching it. It has a similar storyline to Omoni Oboli's Love in Every Word. The only difference is that this particular movie has a little bit of premium tears and is not all roses and vanilla ice cream for the couples in this movie. There is premium tears. This movie stars Okusaga Adiolu and Shine Rossman as the main characters, and it's basically a love story where there's an Odogu, just like Love in Every Word, except that this particular one, the Odogu in this movie dropped the other shoe and it led to premium tears of his Achalugo. So if you enjoyed watching Love in Every Word and you want to watch something that is a little bit in touch with reality, I highly recommend you go check out Illusions of Us. It was actually a very beautiful movie and I enjoyed every single scene of the movie. It was realistic, it was relatable, it was short, it was simple, it was straight to the point, and it was very, very interesting and entertaining. Coming up as number 2 on my list, and I know that I would be sentenced to death by hanging if I don't add this particular one to my list because this particular one is the people's favorite. And that being said, I'm guessing that somebody already knows the movie I'm about to mention, and this number 2 on my list has to be the movie Love in Every Word, showing on Omoni Oboli TV here on YouTube. It stars Uzo Arukwe and Bam Bam as the main characters in this film, and this particular movie needs not too much introduction because I already know that everybody already knows what this movie is about. Everybody has seen this movie, everybody has talked about this one. The reviews are everywhere, the talk and the gist about this particular movie is everywhere, so it does not need that much of an introduction. But then if you're one of the stubborn head ones in our midst that refuse to watch this movie because you don't want to be influenced by peer pressure, well, the month of March and I guess the whole scenario of the whole movie is over and the whole noise about the movie is over. You can actually go check it out. It's an interesting one if you're a Nigerian baby girl that loves the soft life and you just want something that, you know, tickles your fantasy and speaks to your inner girl, speaks to your inner princess. I highly recommend you go check out Love in Every Word, currently showing on Omoni Oboli TV here on YouTube. And number 3 on this particular list, and let's not forget that this list is compiled in no particular order. The arrangement of this list is very random, so it is not in the order of the most interesting. It's just very random. That being said, let's move to talking about number 3 on my list. Number 3 on my list of good movies that you should check out on the YouTube Nollywood space that were released in the month of March is Momiwa. This particular movie is showing currently on Biodun Stephen TV here on YouTube. It stars notable faces like Uzo Arukwe again, Blessing Obasi and Iyabo Ojo, aka the Queen Mother, as the main characters in the film. This particular movie is a very heartwarming family drama. It has little bit of comedy here and there, but then it's mainly a contemporary drama. It explores themes of family life, betrayal, opportunism, love, togetherness, and all the good stuff. I particularly found this movie very interesting because of its relatableness. I found the movie to actually be very relatable and it was actually very, very realistic. Also, the fact that there were no irrelevant scenes in this movie, there was no unnecessary redundancies. The movie was just basically straight to the point while being very entertaining and enlightening as well. So if you haven't seen Momiwa on YouTube Nollywood space, I highly recommend you go check out Momiwa. The movie is a family drama, so if you're a family oriented person, you most likely would enjoy the movie. Coming in strong at number 4 on my list, we have the movie Beneath the Scars, currently showing on Esodike TV here on YouTube. The movie Beneath the Scars stars notable faces like Esodike and Egonwosu as the main characters in the movie. What I would say stood out to me the most in this movie is the fact that it had a very unique storyline. If you have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But then if you haven't and you're looking for something good to actually watch, I highly recommend you go watch Beneath the Scars, because the storyline is really unique, very creative, very informative, enlightening. You know, it is also a simple family drama, family or contemporary family drama, except it gives us an insight on how there are actually male victims to sexual abuse in our world and our society at large, and how different people heal from trauma and how people react differently to trauma in our society today. So if you want to watch a movie that's a little bit of different from a lot of the movies that you see here on YouTube space, I highly recommend you go watch Beneath the Scars on Esodike TV. The movie is enlightening, it's interesting, it's unique. Also, one of the other things that kept me glued to the screen was the superb chemistry between Esodike and Egonwosu. I honestly wanted the movie to actually last a little bit longer than it did, simply because I loved the chemistry between Esodike and Egonwosu in this film. They actually did look like a real couple in this movie. I can't even lie. If you love Esodike, you love Egonwosu, and you love to see, you know, romance that comes off as genuine and not forced on your screen, I highly recommend you go check out this movie. Coming in at number 5 on my list, we have the movie titled The Word, currently showing on Awele Hansel TV here on YouTube. This movie is a faith-based movie that stars our beloved Bam Bam and Chike Daniels as the main characters in the film. If you're a Christian, or even if you're not a Christian and you just basically love faith-based movies, I highly recommend you go check out The Word, simply because the movie is a deep movie. It carries us through a journey of a woman who was waiting upon the Lord and trusting the promise that God had given to her in her dream. It's a movie that I feel like if you're going through something in your life and you just basically need something to give you hope, to hold on to that single little ray of hope that you have in your situation, or you're going through something, you're going through a downtime and you want something that would actually communicate to you deeply and uplift your spirit, I highly recommend you go check out this particular movie. This movie explores themes of betrayal, selfishness, trust in God, Christianity, love for God, and all the other good stuff. If you're a Christian girly, or you're basically someone who loves faith-inspired movies that give hope to people, I recommend you go check out The Word, currently showing on Awele Hansel TV here on YouTube. Coming in strongly at the position of number 6 on my list is the movie titled Ghetto Mother, currently showing on Oni Alex TV here on YouTube. The movie stars notable faces like Oni Alex, Ray Emodi, and Chidera Osadebe as the main characters in the film. The movie pulls us into the fun-filled and heartwarming journey of a young single mother and her daughter. It takes us through the laughter, the tears, the wins, the ups and downs, the struggles, and everything else. I particularly like how realistic this movie is in its storytelling, how it portrayed love, courage, strength, and resilience in a very pure form, all the while being very interesting, entertaining, and educating. I particularly love Tamara and her daughter's constant growth and learning together in this particular movie. I also love how this movie depicted and portrayed love in a very pure form, how there was no unnecessary show of sexuality in this particular movie. I love that the movie was actually realistic and relatable. The only issues I have with this movie was that it was unnecessarily long and there were a lot of irrelevant scenes, and also the fact that Oni Alex is really, really dramatic in her acting, and it gets to the point where sometimes it just distracts you from the actual point of the movie. But aside from that, the movie was actually a very good watch. I highly recommend you go check it out. The familiar chemistry between Oni Alex and Chidera Osadebe in this particular movie is to die for, and I would honestly say that wherever Oni Alex went to go and draw inspiration for this particular movie, she should better be going back there in this month of April. She better be going back there, because I loved this movie. We loved this movie. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out, and then if you have seen it before, probably go watch it again, because I've seen this movie like 2 or 3 times already, and I would tell you for a fact that this movie is a solid one. Coming in next and strongly on my list as number 7 is the movie titled Yours Regardless, showing on Bolaji Ogumola TV here on YouTube. The movie stars Bolaji Ogumola and Uzo Arukwe as the main characters in the film. I love this particular movie because it's a slow burn, heartwarming film that explores themes of love in different forms and on different levels. I also love how the movie showed a little bit about personal growth, self-development, and so how well it explored themes of friendship. The movie was a very realistic and relatable one. I particularly feel that whenever it comes to like contemporary dramas that are relatable, Bolaji Ogumola does a fantastic job all the time. The movie is currently showing on Bolaji Ogumola TV here on YouTube. I highly recommend you go check it out. The movie is not as popular as it should be, probably because it's a simple film, it's a slow burn movie, and there is not so much gragra happening inside of it. But then if you take my word for it, I highly recommend you just go check it out. It's something you should watch in a calm atmosphere, probably before you go to bed at night when your head is like, when you're looking for something to use to relax your head. There is not so much pepper in this movie that will set your heart racing. So I highly recommend you go check it out while we anticipate the fantastic movies that are going to be coming to our screen in the month of April. Coming in at number 8 on my list is the movie Heartbeats and Night Lights. This particular movie is a very unpopular movie, so a lot of people might not have heard about it or seen it anywhere. The movie is showing on Benita Onyuke TV here on YouTube, and it stars notable faces like Michael Dapper and Benita Onyuke herself. I particularly like the idea behind this movie. I love the message that this movie conveyed. The movie follows the story of two young individuals who happen to meet and fall in love with each other, but then as a result of some unbridgeable differences between the both of them, they were left with a tough choice of having to pick between the love that they have for each other and the differences that they have, and how they were able to navigate the whole situation and finally find a lasting solution. Whenever you hear the saying, love is not always enough, it just mainly helps us to understand that it's not always about love all the time. There are other things that people need to take into consideration whenever they are considering getting into relationships or marriage, actually, with people. I love how this movie was so realistic. I love how Michael Dapper, as per usual, is kind of like a chemistry magnet, a chemistry machine, because he can easily just get chemistry with basically any female actress that he's put together on the screen with. The movie is not necessarily the most interesting movie on the YouTube space, but then I like it because it is something that you don't get bored of. The movie is not a popular one, and I don't think it's that much of a high budget movie, so a lot of people might disagree with me on my opinion about this particular movie as to it being a very interesting one. But check it out, right? Go check it out, and you might like it, you might not like it, but then I particularly love this movie, like I said before, mainly because of the message behind the movie and how they were able to execute this particular movie without boring the audience, in my own opinion. And then, strongly taking the position of number 9 on my list is the comedic film Room for Loyalty, showing on Sonia Uche TV on YouTube. If you're a fan of Sonia Uche and you like Ekene Omenwa, I highly recommend you go check this movie out. The movie is purely a comedic film, so if you're looking for something to use to just relax and unwind and have a good laugh, I highly recommend you go check out Room for Loyalty, showing on Sonia Uche TV. The movie is a comedic film that explores themes of love, self-development, friendship, and basically just good laughs and, good vibes and energy. What reeled me into this particular movie and kept me glued to the screen was, first of all, the platonic chemistry between Sonia Uche and Ekene Omenwa in this particular movie is to die for. I can't even lie. If you're a fan of either of these two beautiful and fantastically talented actresses, this particular movie is for you. If you have seen the movie, you already know the vibes, but then if you haven't seen it and you were contemplating on whether or not to go check the movie out, I highly recommend that you should come to the end of your contemplation and go check it out. It's actually a fun one. It was an interesting one. I also love that the movie was quite realistic, mainly because of how well Sonia Uche and Ekene Omenwa portrayed their characters in this movie. I love that they brought in their A game, and the movie was just a really pure, heartwarming, fun-filled movie to watch, and it was really entertaining, right? So by all means, go check out Room for Loyalty, showing on Sonia Uche TV here on YouTube. And then for number 10 on my list, fortunately or unfortunately, I was not able to get a number 10, to be quite honest. A lot of fantastic movies were not really put out here on the YouTube space in this month of March, if I must say, in all honesty. But then feel free to suggest to me in the comment section what you feel should take the space of number 10 on this list, and also do well to leave recommendations for movies that you feel like I should go check out on the YouTube space, because definitely I can't see all of the movies on the space. This particular list is just basically compiled out of the movies that I have seen personally, right? It's not like on a general note. It's basically my own compilation, and it's basically from my own opinion, right? So please give me some recommendations of good movies that you feel like I should go check out on the YouTube Nollywood space, and I would be very, very grateful for that. And all of that being said, we have successfully come to the end of this particular video. Feel free to leave your own opinion, your own comments about how you felt about any of these movies. If you have seen any, leave recommendations for me for movies that I should go check out here on the YouTube Nollywood space. And if you're still watching up until this point and you're not subscribed to this channel, please, what are you waiting for? Click on the subscribe button to join the Good Life family. Turn on your notification to get notified whenever I put out new awesome and amazing content like this. And all of that being said, thank you so very much for watching up until this point. And until I come again to your screen next time, I remain your girl Mimi Nasike, and I love you all dearly. God bless you. Bye.